Hello, Church on Mill. This is one of those seasons in life in which we are experiencing what's always true. We are experiencing the fact that we're not in control. It certainly feels right now as though everything is spinning out of control. You know, there is a truth in the scriptures that is enormously helpful all the time, especially right now. It's a truth that may feel like a hard truth, like it's not all that comforting. And yet when we sit down on the inside in this truth, it is in fact what is the most helpful thing we could possibly hear. And that truth is that we're not in control, but God is. God is sovereign. He's providential. He rules. He reigns. Nothing happens that catches him by surprise. There's never a moment that God says, "Oh, I didn't see that one coming." He knows everything, and he is leveraging and using everything for the good of those who love him. At the end of the book of Job, after Job and God have had a interchange back and forth, Job's beginning of his last response says this to God. Job chapter 42, verse 2. "I know that you can do all things, and that no purpose of yours can be thwarted." Christian, we don't know everything that God's doing right now. We don't quite understand yet how these experiences that we're having and how the stay-at-home order and all the difficulty that that's exposing in our hearts. What is all the things that God's doing in that? We don't know. But what we do know is that what God has planned cannot be thwarted. There is no virus that is more powerful than him. There is no stay-at-home order that's more in control or more providential than him. We can trust him. And far from leaving us paralyzed and not knowing what to do, that actually motivates us to do the next right thing, to pick the next thing on our list of good, godly, right, helpful things, and to do it with comfort because we trust that we're not in control. God is. We'd love to stay connected with you, church, and a couple of ways we're trying to encourage helping each other. Number one, if you're in a small group, a gospel community, as you have needs, would you reach out to those folks? Let them know. I feel very confident they would love to help you. A second way we're trying to provide a resource to bless one another, to serve one another, is that email address that we've talked about, help@churchonmill.org. That's HELP@churchonmill.org. If you have a need or you're interested in helping with needs that come up, would you write an email to that address? And if that feels a little too open-ended, overwhelming, then in the email you're receiving, there is a link to a survey. The survey will take you about 60 seconds to fill out, and it'll specifically ask, what are some ways that you need help? What are some ways you'd be willing to give help? Would you just take those 60 seconds and complete it? It'll go to an elder or staff member, deacon, and they're going to be serving to triage those needs so that the body can bless each other. Brothers and sisters, we can be anchored in the truth. God's in control. We don't need to feel like we have to be.